Music is all good. Game's running. Let's go. Alright. Is it this one, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So part one, if anybody's curious. We moved to Japan with our sister Nikki to be with our uncle. I think it's Uncle Kato. And we used to, I think it's because our mum and dad have passed now. Our dad's definitely passed, and I imagine our mum has as well. Otherwise, we wouldn't be moving to be with our uncle. So, our dad's passed away, probably our mum as well, and we've moved to Japan with our sister, Nikki, to be with our uncle, Kato. And we've joined a pilot program. He's going to this academy called Ace Academy, which is what the game is called. It's made by PixelFade, by the way. Makers of Crystalline, Kaori, After Story, and Ethereal Enigma, and their upcoming game, which I don't know the name of. And so, yeah, you're in this academy called Ace Academy, and it's to do with, like, mechs and pilots and sci-fi stuff. Imagine Gundam. I think it's Gundam. Imagine that, you know, mechs and stuff and shit. That's what this academy's about. And you've joined their pilot program, and you've brought your mech with you, which is like old and rusty. And it's like, basically, it's like you bring in a fucking Game Boy Advance to you're having like a party with you're having like a game night with your friends, and you've brought a Game Boy Advance, and they've all got Steam Decks and Nintendo Switches and whatever other handheld consoles, right? VR and stuff. They're using VR and Switches and Steam Decks, and you've brought a fucking Game Boy Advance. That's what his mech is compared to their mechs. But he insists on using it because it was his dad's. Him and his dad worked on the mech, and he insists on continuing to use it. And we almost ran over somebody, and it turns out who we almost ran over was the captain of our team, which we joined because all the other teams are full. They all had the summer to do their shit, and we've only just recently transferred, and we're transferring into the second year to the program, like partway through, and now we've got to find a team, and no other teams are left because they've all chosen their teams already, and there was like one team going, and the only reason their team was looking for members is because they recently left a team who they was with in their first year, and they was really good with that team, but because of shit that happened, they left that team, so they had to find a new fourth member. That was you. And you made a new friend who calls you Broseph all the time, and you're still adjusting to your new life in Japan, adjusting to life at the academy. You've just joined a team, so you've got to try and work with them, and you're still dealing with the fact that you almost ran over your captain, and she's not very fond of you, but you were the best they could do. So, yeah. So we're going to continue off where we left off. This is us waking up the day after our first day at the academy, I believe, and we're going to see what happens. Alright, let's continue. I quickly change into my uniform and head downstairs. Oh, this is part 2. So if you're watching on YouTube, this is part 2. Part 1 premiered a couple of days ago, I imagine, when this goes up. Like a couple of days ago, or a week ago, a couple of days ago, or a week if I'm really bad at uploading this. So if you're watching from YouTube, heyo, you know, and please like, subscribe, and share the video if you enjoyed it. But this is part 2. Part 1's already on the YouTube channel. So if you want to go watch part 1 first and then watch this, it's up to you. But anyway, for those of you who are watching it now live, it's not an issue. Well, it is an issue if you've never watched me before, but part 1's on my YouTube channel. So anyway, sorry, I quickly change into my uniform and head downstairs. To an empty kitchen. It's weird being the first one up. Usually Nikki is doing her thing in the kitchen. I'll catch up on some reading while I wait for her. She should be up soon anyway. I pull up the news app on my phone. The front page doesn't have anything too interesting. Until I spot an article on Eludian Enterprises. Eludian Enterprises has officially announced their intentions to sponsor an up-and-coming team in the coming War Games. The rapidly expanding R&D company is gaining a lot of attention in the field of xenorobotics, and they're putting pressure on established innovators such as Vector Industries and Paragon Weaponry. Much of their success can be attributed to the CEO, Danny Ruse, who was a top graduate in the pilot program at Ace Academy. That's interesting, isn't it? Same one we go to. And a visionary when it comes to modern functional designs for gear. I don't think I've heard of these guys before. Must be a local company who hasn't expanded to the States yet. Sounds like they're making a name for themselves though. The time on my phone reads 6:57. I listened for any signs of life upstairs, but the house is still. I better grab something to eat before I need to go. Doesn't seem like Nikki's coming down anytime soon. My phone flashes to the next article, a headline on Dashu. That should be good. I push the button shaped like a film projector on the bottom of the page, and the text projects onto the nearest surface. Then I place my phone in a dock on the table so the text shines on the kitchen table. I grab a couple of slices of bread and stick them in the toaster. As I wait for my toast to finish, I sit at the table and read the article. Kanaku Dishtaru, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, CEO of Dashu, made an unscheduled appearance at the memorial service yesterday for Yudai Mizaki. A year ago, the community was shocked by an unexpected death of Ace Academy's most promising pilots. The family was honoured that the mighty Mughal took the time to show his respects to their son, and concurrently postponed the unveiling of Dashu's new line of energy drinks. Their introduction has been rescheduled to take place next week.
What are you reading?
How can your feet make no sound? I think that option's more funnier, but I don't know. Now let's go for the No, how can your feet make no sound? Jeez, Nikki, you startled me. Make some noise when you walk. He laughs.
But that would totally ruin my chance of surprising you.
No more of that, please. I'm going to have to tie some bells around your neck so I can hear you coming. Like people do for cats.
Are you comparing me to a cat?
That's a thing, isn't it? You know, like Nico girls.
Oh my god. Stop it, you perv.
What?
Yeah, I don't need to know about your weird little fantasies.
That's not.
So you don't think a girl would look super cute with cat ears?
This is a death trap. No. But now that I'm imagining it, definitely wouldn't say no.
Wipe that drool off your face.
I instinctively wipe at my chin, but nothing's there. Nikki just laughs and heads past me. Nikki glances at my toast, which had popped up while we were talking.
Your toast is burned.
What? I leap out of my chair and stand beside her. It's not burned. She flips it over to reveal a dark side of charcoal. Oh.
You're so hopeless. How did you survive in college without me?
Fast food. Just a lot of takeaway. I ate in the cafeteria.
That explains it.
He throws away the toast and pulls out 2 yogurts from the fridge.
Well, since you botched breakfast, we'll have to make do with a quick snack if you don't want to be late.
I accept the yogurt she hands me, and we both finish them in record time. Then we grab our things and head out the door.
Are you able to give me a ride today? The bus yesterday was so crowded.
Sorry, Nikki. I'm not taking my bike today. I don't have a parking pass yet.
Oh. How long will it take before you get one?
I'm not sure, but hopefully soon.
Well, for the sake of your sanity, I hope it's not too long.
Thanks, I think. Nikki laughs.
I'll see you later, okay?
Yeah, see you. She waves and heads for her bus stop while I head for mine. At least it's a nice day to be waiting for the bus. The stop is a bit crowded. I lean up against the shelter as I wait. The bus squeals to a halt in front of me, only a few minutes after my arrival. I follow the other passengers on, scan my ID, and search for a free seat. I settle into the first seat I find, and grumble as a large man sits down beside me, crushing me against the window. I can already imagine how enjoyable this ride will be. Luckily, it isn't a long ride, and I'm at school before I can complain too much. I pull up the schedule on my phone and check my first class. I pull up the schedule on my phone and check my first class. Gear Arsenal 201. The building isn't too far away either. I soon reach the building. The classroom is about half the size of the lecture hall for my Piloting 101 class. For some reason, this is a comfort to me. Probably because it reminds me of the class sizes at CIMY. I take a seat near the back of the room just as the professor enters.
Good morning, class. Welcome to Gear Arsenal 201. I'm sure you're all tired of hearing the same welcome spiel, so I won't even bother with it. Instead, we're going to drive straight into the material. Question: who can name one of the leading companies in gear weapon manufacturing?
I think it's Lulu. I think Dash used the energy drink stuff. Potato Shooter Incorporated. That one. It's gotta be the funny one. Potato Shooter Incorporated. The class erupts into laughter.
Very funny. A real company would be Paragon Weaponry. Their recent area of study has shown that.
He goes into details of Paragon Weaponry's R&D and the future of beam weaponry for the remainder of class.
That's all the time we have for today. You'll find this week's readings and assignments on your web link. Have a good day.
Students scramble to collect their things before hurrying out of the room. I think I'll go back to the hangar. This class inspired me to go have a proper look at my gear. I take the path through the pilot's lounge and follow the tiles until I reach my gear. Pulling down the ladder beside my docking station, I climb up to the top, which is about level with the chest section of my robot. I unlock the chest cavity. With a mechanical roar, it splits open into separating panels, revealing a lowered seat. I easily hop into the seat and breathing the comforting scent of metal and plastic. Faintly reminds me of a new car smell. Once I've settled, I trigger the closing sequence. As the chest panels return, my seat scoops me further into my gear until I'm nestled into the darkness of the pit. Or cockpit. Yeah. Didn't read that entirely right, but whatever. Oh shit, sorry. I initiate the boot up sequence. The cockpit glows a faint red, then flickers into life. I can't help but smile at the familiarity of it all. The bright glow of the panels illuminate the interior until there isn't a trace of a shadow left. Statistics blink around me in a series of rapid numbers and diagrams.
Gear initialization sequencing complete.
The familiar voice of my gear feels like a warm welcome from an old friend. Eagle, Please run a comprehensive check.
System in progress.
Nothing to do now, but wait. The lights along my display pulse with changing colours as the check progresses. It flows through warm colours, red, orange, yellow, before illuminating the cockpit with a bright green.
All system functions normal. Unknown docking station detected.
Register the current docking station as home station.
Completed. Recommendation. Please update system calibration configuration.
This is recommended all the time. Whenever we change locations, Eagle will request a recalibration of the system. Even the slightest difference in air pressure can trigger an inaccuracy. At least the process is easy. All I have to do is make sure I correctly follow sequential number order, so Eagle can achieve the necessary internal calculations. Alright, start up the process.
Calibration sequence initiating.
I give it a few minutes as Eagle automatically adjusts itself. Dot dot. Dot dot dot.
Calibration successful.
Perfect. Everything seems to be in order. After one last look, I shut down my gear and unlocked the chest cavity again. Once I hop out, the panels slide back in place until I hear the faint flick. Once I hop out, the panels slide back in place until I hear the faint click of them locking. As I turn towards the elevator, I spot Sho waving at me. I nimbly make my way down and stand beside him.
Mr. Broseph!
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Is this your go-to hangout place? This is the second time I've run into you here.
I guess it's starting to be. What are you doing here?
I just thought I'd pay a visit to my gear. It helps when I keep her company for a bit. Keeps her spirits up.
That's why I only go for male gear. Hey, you mean a girl? Is there a girl you're keeping captive in your gear? Joe laughs.
If only. Unfortunately, no girl ever goes near my gear.
He sighs wistfully, while I try very hard to keep a straight face. I'm so sorry.
Me too. So, what were you doing here?
I was just checking to make sure everything's working fine.
And does it?
Yeah. He glances He glances curiously at my gear.
How about a simulator match?
I shrug. It'd be nice to get a feel for how things are done at Ace. Sure.
We can both use the basic robot program. That way, all accessories and weapons will be the same, and it'll be based on skill alone.
May the best one May the best one win. May the best man win. He grins and races in the opposite direction. I see him pause by a green gear before I get back into my own. Once I'm settled in the cockpit, I switch on the open network configuration. Immediately, a request from Sho comes in, and I accept. After we're connected, we boot up our virtual training simulation program.
Oh, very fancy. I haven't seen an American style gear up close before.
But we'll save that here, just in case you run into issues.
Oh, very fancy. I haven't seen an American style gear up close before.
I experiment with my gear controls and watching I experiment with my gear controls and watching amusement as it makes the same movements within the simulator. Simulators are freakishly accurate at emulating the real thing, but it still can't quite replicate the feeling of live matches. Yeah. Oh, I need to burp. Oh man, no, try reading that whole thing again. Simulators are freakishly accurate at emulating the real thing, but it still can't quite replicate the feeling of live matches. You can't feel every impact, or even the slightest shift in motion within a VTS.
As you can see, both of us are kitted with the same standard equipment. You have your energy shield for blocking, thrusters for movement, a ranged weapon, and a close combat weapon.
I evaluate my gear and find all the components he mentioned. Any particular reason why we aren't playing from our personal arsenal? Sorry. Any particular reason why we aren't playing from our personal arsenal?
This will level the playing field. We'll have to win by skill alone.
Trying to see what I'm made of? Joe just grins.
Remember, you have to use the right tool at the right time. There's usually more than one right move you can make, but you have to think fast.
So the trick is just to react accordingly.
You got it. Are you ready?
Yep.
Let's do this.
My hands fall naturally into place and grip the controls. I can't stop the smile that spreads across my face as my heart beats faster in anticipation. I've missed this. Eagle shifts into a fighting stance and holds out his gun, while Sho activates his thrusters and points his double guns at me. Points his double guns at me. Dodge. I dash out of the way and his attack misses its mark. I equip one of my guns and return fire. He dodges, but my shot still grazes him and he takes some damage. As I boost forward, Sho moves back to keep the distance between us. He shoots again, but his aim is not accurate and I weave away. With my gun in hand, I take aim. My aim is true and Sho's shield shimmers as it absorbs the shot. Judging by how deep of a shimmer, it looks like it took a significant amount of damage. Since Sho likes using ranged weapons, I better close the distance and force him into a melee battle. I boost forward. I switch to my sword mid-boost and swing the blade in a high arc. Sho tries to block with his guns and my sword lands on them with a loud crack. We struggle in a battle of wills and sweat beads down my face. A loud roar escapes my lips as I channel my strength into my attack, and break through Sho's defense. As my sword falls through, Sho's gear goes dark. Okay. With the match over, I shut down my gear and get back on the ground. After a few minutes, Sho appears.
Not bad. I knew I made a good choice with you. I've got a sixth sense for these things.
Thanks. You're not so bad yourself.
Anyway, we'll want to meet up tomorrow before the qualifier to practice. So, what's your number?
We quickly exchange numbers. So, I guess I should go and get some stuff done.
Yeah, me too. Well, I'll see you later then.
Wait, let's play another match. I need to study. Bye. I head back towards the pilot's lounge. So far, every time I pass through the lounge, it has been full of students. I'm sure I'll either meet someone cool or find something interesting to do there. When I enter the lounge, I'm surprised to see a crowd surrounding the bar. I can't make out anything intelligible from the jumble of words and voices, but it must be something big based on the sheer level of excitement in the room. It's a hot chick. Are they giving out free food? I force my way through the throng of people, much to the dismay of those beside me. Regardless, I ignore their protests and continue to make Regardless, I ignore their protests and continue to make my way through until I hear the pilot beside me mention something about an Akira. That sounds suspiciously like a person and not enough like food. I turn towards the two girls I just overheard. Hey,
Hi?
what's an Akira?
I think you mean who is an Akira.
Oh. Well, there goes my chances for a free lunch. I could have really used an onigiri right now too. Okay. Who's Akira?
How do you not know who he is? He's only the top pilot at Ace. And so nice, too. Yeah, he listens to you when you talk and treats everyone like they're important. Plus, he's a total dreamboat.
The first pilot... Yeah, sorry, before I said that wrong. The first pilot blushes and her friend laughs. Right. But the qualifiers haven't happened yet. You mean from last year's rankings?
He's been a top pilot since his first year here.
Since first year?
Yep, he was on his team starting lineup.
So, what year is he now?
Third year.
They sigh wistfully. Suddenly, the first student perks up and grabs her friend.
Oh, he just looked at me! Did you see that? What? Why didn't he notice me?
Oh my god. Oh, sorry. As if on cue, a path forms amid the throng of people, and a male pilot with white hair and kind eyes walks through. Oh, he's my spirit animal. He laughs with the group of girls surrounding him. Our eyes meet for a second, his calm smile still intact. That can't be right. He must have recognised someone behind me and smiled at them. Regardless, after the departure of Akira and his group, the lounge feels quieter even though it's still full of students. Pilots turn back to whatever programs they were watching or order drinks at the bar. Others return to the games they were originally playing. I stand awkwardly on my own. I don't see anybody I recognise. Everyone seems to be intent on their own thing, so I decide to head home. It's getting late anyway. I wait impatiently for the bus. When it pulls up, I climb on and grab an aisle seat. As the bus moves on, I dream of my beautiful bike the entire way home. Why do I keep doing that by accident? Jesus. I enter the house and hear laughter coming from the kitchen. I drop my bag on the floor and follow the sounds of my family and the delicious smells of dinner. Hey! I sit at the table and watch Nikki and Uncle Kato move around the kitchen. They're wearing matching aprons. Looking good, Uncle. The apron really suits you. Brings out your eyes. ...
That's it, I'm done.
Tears off the apron and tosses it aside.
You said I'd look cool.
Nikki giggles and goes back to the food she's cooking.
You did look cool. Every lady loves a man who can cook.
Better learn to cooking them. Why do I keep doing that? I just take my hand off the right click. And I love a lady who cooks for me.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Kato sits beside me. We laugh as Nikki sticks her tongue out at us.
Men.
Women. So what are we having?
Guess.
Oh god. Not this again. Kato laughs.
How was your day, bud?
It was alright.
Yeah. What kind of shenanigans did you get up to?
Nothing major. Had class this morning. checked out my gear after. One of my teammates showed up and we had a practice simulation.
Sounds fun.
It was. I think we'll make a good team.
Who else is on the team?
Joe, myself, and a couple girls.
Good-looking girls?
I shrug. Yeah, I guess. Kato winks at me and I just shake my head. Nikki places full plates in front of us, then removes her apron and joins us at the table.
What else did you get up to today?
I hung out at the pilot's I hung out at the pilot's lounge for a bit.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it was. I actually learned a lot about this guy named Akira. He's the top pilot in the program.
So he's your rival.
Rival?
Yeah, these types of stories always need a villain as rival.
Well, he's actually a pretty nice. Oh my god, why do I keep slurring my words like that? Well, he's actually a pretty nice guy. He's well liked.
Really? Is he cute?
How should I know?
Did the girls think he was cute?
I guess so. Nikki beams.
Accomplished, polite, and cute. You could learn a thing from him.
What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing.
Yeah, whatever you say, bitch. Don't challenge me. That was a weak burp, but you get my point. Kato cleans his plate, then rests a hand on his stomach and lets out a loud belch. Nikki and I blink at him.
I was simply complimenting the chef.
I should do the same. I open up my mouth to burp, but Nikki squeals in protest. Pardon me. Sorry, everyone. I had to method acting. I apologise. Sounded like a demon was coming out of me. It's what you watch my stream for, admit it. I open up my mouth to burp, but Nikki squeals in protest.
Please don't. I'd rather not have them.
Kato and I laugh as Nikki clears the table. Then Kato rests a hand on my shoulder.
Sounds like you've had quite the day, bud.
I have. But it'll get easier once I'm into the swing of things.
Of course. Want to watch a movie or something before you two head to bed?
I almost say yes. I don't... No, I'm doing it again, Jesus Christ. I almost say yes, but a long yawn escapes my mouth. I'm pretty fried. I think I might go review some notes, then get to bed early. I've got qualifiers tomorrow.
That's fair. Nikki,
I'll join you when I'm done cleaning.
I'll help you.
Thanks.
I stand up and Kato and Nikki both wave.
Good night.
Good night.
I wave back and head to my room. No, that's it. Yeah. Always make sure I don't miss anything. In my room, I crawl into bed and grab my tablet to review my notes from today's class. I'm only partway through when my eyes grow heavy and I can't read any longer. I flick off the light and close my eyes. As I drift to sleep, I dream of tomorrow's qualifiers. Per usual, I'm awoken by the blare of my alarm, but today I don't hesitate to get out of bed. I have a really busy day ahead of me, and I can't afford to lounge around. I get dressed and head downstairs. As I pass Nikki's room, I notice her door is open and her room is empty. It must be in the kitchen. When I reach the kitchen, no one is there. Uncle Kato is always gone before I wake up, but usually Nikki is around. There must be something going on at her school today, which is why she left early. I fix myself a quick breakfast and scarf it down. Then I'll hop on my bike and head to school. Once I reach campus, I navigate to my class easily. Hey! Sorry, why did I say it like that? Once I reach campus, I navigate to my class easily. Hey, I'm getting used to this place. The classroom is mostly full by the time I arrive, and all of the seats in the back are taken. I spot an empty seat close to the window by the front of the room. As I sit down, the girl beside me with try and read this properly. As I sit down, the girl beside me with bright pink hair glances briefly in my direction. A few minutes later, the professor enters the room and heads straight for the front desk.
Welcome to History 201. Today we'll be covering...
The lesson lasts a while, but the material is not bad.
We only have a few minutes before class ends, but your first assignments will be a group project on a case study of your choice. Since it's the first day of class, I'll be assigning your partners.
She points to pairs of students sitting next to each other. Finally, she reaches me.
You and you are partners.
She points to me and the pink-haired girl beside me. Result! We look at each other and she gives me a friendly smile. She seems nice enough.
Your project will be due next week. Class dismissed.
The classroom is abuzz with the shuffle of students. I turn towards my partner. Hi, I'm Holy. She smiles warmly.
I'm Yuna. Pleased to meet you.
Yuna looking for someone to hang out with? This is why I'm alone. Her eyes flick to my stripe.
You must be new.
Yeah. How did you know?
I tend to know most of the pilots here.
Although her uniform fits her like a glove, it is severely lacking in stripes. You aren't a pilot, are you? She laughs slightly.
No, I've just worked with a lot of them. I'm a pilot health and physiotherapy student.
That's a mouthful. She laughs again.
Yeah, PHPT for short. Anyway, what do you think our topic should be?
Pioneering pilots, the evolution of gears, the psychology of robotics. Well, that's green, so I imagine you have to go for that one. I don't know, it's all the same to me. I guess that one. There's no meme answers here, so I guess that one. What if we focused more on the psychological impact of the development and growth of robotics as a field? Her face lights up.
Absolutely! This could also delve into social impact and how society is adapting to the growth of this field, such as the development of new specialties, like studies in pilot health.
That should be right up your alley.
What about you? Are you okay with that?
It sounds interesting to me too. Yuna smiles.
It sounds like we have our topic.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Don't know why I said that in a cracking voice. Yeah. I'm feeling good about this.
Me too. We're going to have a great project.
By this time, most of the class has already caught up with their partners and left the room. You should probably do the same. There might be another class that needs this room. Anyway, we should probably get going.
Yeah, you're right.
I begin to gather my things when Yuna interrupts me.
Wait, may I have your number?
Did the girls ask my number? Smirk. Why does she want to know? Give my number. I'm gonna go for the first one. What?
Would you like to exchange numbers?
Is this real life? I surreptitiously, fuck me, that's a word. I surreptitiously pinch myself and try not to flinch from the pain. Is this real life? I surreptitiously pinch myself and try not to flinch from the pain. Definitely not a dream. Yuna blushes under my continued gaze. Oh, right. The project that we're working on together.
Yes.
I knew it was too good to be true. Sure. Miles. We quickly exchange numbers and gather our things. My phone vibrates as we leave the classroom. I glance at her, wondering if she already sent me a text, but she doesn't have her phone out. When I pull up my phone, I see an unread message from Sho. Big news, Broseph! We're in the first phase of the qualifier matches. Team is meeting at the Why am I saying like that? Big news, Broseph! We're in the first phases of qualifier matches. Team is meeting at the hangar. Don't know why I'm saying it like that. Big news, Broseph. We are the first phase of the qualifying matches. Team is meeting at the hangar, bro. Having my first official team meeting should be interesting. Although I feel a couple of flutters in my stomach, I'm more excited than nervous to see everyone. Once we're outside, Yuna turns towards me.
Do you have any more classes today?
No, but I'm headed for the hangar. I've got to meet... No, but I'm headed for the hangar. I've got to meet my team before the qualifiers. She nods.
Good luck.
Thanks. We wave and head our separate ways. Alright. Let's see. I want to go back because I saw something there, but I mean, it's a safe for work visual novel, so I should be fine to go back and look at it, but I don't want to take my chances. Right, good. That should be that. We're at the point now where we're gonna meet